I just wanted to quickly go over this couple clips in an article and stuff about how Kamala Harris called that Donald Trump would bring us into a recession. This was during one of their debates that they had, and it's pretty spot on. Did America make the wrong choice? Obviously, yes. Was I a fan of Kamala Harris? No, I was not. The only thing I was a fan of was her choice for VP, Tim Walz, and in the beginning, it was really nice because, he was doing his thing, but it really seems like they muzzled him to make him seem a lot less progressive than he is. I'm still holding out hope. Tim Walz 2028. What's up? What's happening? But anyways, let's get into this video clip real quick of Kamala Harris calling the pending recession.
Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
I will agree completely with that. We are definitely looking at a recession. I'm going to show you an article here in a second with the bullet points pointing out that. And I would like to point out the sheer fact that she hit it right on the nose. He doesn't care about any of the American people. He only cares about him and his rich billionaire buddies, but more importantly, him. I mean, that's the real big issue right there is what Donald Trump gets out of the deal. We can't forget that right before he got into office, he dropped a meme coin, raking in billions of dollars from his constituents, and they didn't have a peep to say about how they just got fucked over by Daddy Trump. No lube style. But, and now that meme coin is specifically bought and owned by foreign governments around the world, and we don't even really know who has it. We don't know who is just funneling money into it to get favors and stuff by Daddy Trump or what's going on. Like he's selling our nation out, and the red hat cult can give a shit less, But let's move on to this article real quick. This is JP Morgan, and the key takeaways of this is in early April, JP Morgan research raised the probability of recession occurring in 2025 to 60%. That's up from 40%. So a 20% raise in April is crazy. That's them saying like, yeah, we're pretty much definitely going to have a recession. I personally do not like those odds. 60% chance of recession is crazy bones. Next up is the latest unwinding of the Liberation Day tariffs reduced the shock to the global trading order, but remaining universal 10% tariff is still material threat to growth, and 145% tariff on China keeps the probability of recession at 60%. Just the sheer fact that we have across the board 10% tariffs. I know I've said it 1,000 times. You can probably click on 8 of my past videos in the past 2 weeks, and I harp on the 10% thing every time because it is such a ridiculous notion to put 10% across the board. I am pro tariffs in the fact of I would like to keep the manufacturing that we can do in America. If we can do it here in America, I'm all for a tariff. But it also needs to get tied with industrial policy to make sure that we keep the stuff that we can make in America. We can't produce bananas like that here in America. So putting a 10% tariff on everything puts a 10% tariff on bananas. We ship all of our bananas in, and it's 10% more expensive. You can do that with almost everything in the world because we produce very little in America. But regardless of all that, let's get back to see this last bullet point. JP Morgan research now expects the Fed to start easing in September, with further cuts in every meeting thereafter through January 2026, reaching 3% policy rate by June 2026. So basically, we are on the edge of a recession. It's going to be nice to be back down to like a 3% policy rate mid 2026. I mean, the last time we seen that was the beginnings of COVID, I want to say, which is a good thing, but it's also, you know, it also means prices are still going to be really high, you know, because it's a give and take with that. It's either the rates are low, prices are high, or prices are stagnant. They don't really get lower, but the rates are higher. But I just wanted to get to this one next thing. Scott Bassett explaining that they came to an agreement with China, and we're going to be dropping the tariff with China at least.
We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially move down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%. We had very robust discussions. Both sides showed great respect.
Art of the deal. First, we raise the tariffs, and then we lower the tariffs. Art of the deal. This is basically just China saying, fuck you, we don't need you. China does not need us. We need China. That is first and foremost. Donald Trump put us in this position where China is making deals with like Korea and Japan and shit like that, which is bonkers. You know, they fucking hate each other from long ago. Long ago. You know, if everybody remembers correctly, Japan invaded China in the World War II era. And yeah, they still have not got over that. But apparently Trump making these ridiculous tariffs are just really pushing them along to forgive and forget, you know? It's fine. It's fine, guys. Yeah, it's bonkers. I mean, even with a 30% extra tariff, this is not including the tariffs that we already had in place with China. This is on top. So it's not like going down or anything. And they also have a 10% tariff on us. You know, what do they need from us? Fucking nothing. What are they gonna ship us a t-shirt and then we ship them back a t-shirt after we put our prints on it? No. It's ridiculous. But anyways, let me know what everybody thinks about our impending doom and our recession that's coming in the next couple months, more than likely, under the Trump administration. Again, comment that down below. Do you think we're going to have a recession, or do you think everything's going to be super cool and China's going to come to realize that they really need us? Art of the deal. Anyways, like the video if you like the video. A subscribe would really help the channel grow, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Later.